Good evening, everyone, and I extend you all a very warm welcome to this webinar series of SME UDAAN, which is an educational initiative by PhillipCapital with the sole objective of sharing knowledge. Dear all, we at PhillipCapital are committed to undertake many more such knowledge series and help the participants to achieve their goals. It's indeed a pleasure to welcome all of you and thank you so much for taking your time out to be present in this webinar. My name is Preeti and I'm a part of private client group at PhillipCapital. The topic we are covering today is adoption of digital solutions for SME. At this onset, I would like to thank Mr. Logesh Velusamy for sparing his valuable time and for consenting to be a part of this webinar series to share his valuable insight on the topic. Mr. Logesh is the founder and Chief Executive Officer of Effitrac Solutions. Effitrac is founded in 2012 to help small and medium businesses to optimize their time, money, and resources. Owing to his keen interest in engineering and technology and with a BE in electronics and communications from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Mr. Logesh was motivated to create Effitrac and apply technology to solve operational challenges faced by owners of small and medium businesses. Effitrac is an intuitive and cost-effective end-to-end business process platform that led to the establishment of Coimbatore-based SAS, that is Software as a Service startup. It simplifies the operations of SMEs across wide variety of industries from manufacturing to retail. Effitrac now has over 1,000 plus MSME clients and is used by 40,000 plus users across over 13 verticals. Before this, he worked in senior technology roles at IBS Software and Accenture. Played a vital role in conceptualizing and implementing a scalable business strategy that led him to become an accomplished technological architect. It's indeed a pleasure to have you on this panel. I welcome you all once again. So I request all the participants to write their questions in the chat box. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Preeti. Hope it is audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Just
So let me know when to start.
we can start now, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Preeti, for the kind introduction. And good evening, team. Good evening, all. So today I would like to touch upon the importance of digital tools and how SMEs can leverage them to scale, right? See, even before getting into this, I myself comes from an SME background and we run a couple of SME businesses. So I know the importance of a tool like this or any tool for that matter to grow a SME business, right? So I hope everyone here might have this problem. The story of every rupee. What happened to my rupee? Where was it? How did was it growing? Is it not growing? How is it helping me in all this stuff, right? So this is the biggest problem every SME we have in today's world. This is because like when we operate in silos. Say like none of our departments come closer and talk to each other. And that is a primary cause of this issue, the story, what happened to my rupee, right? And we all might have faced these challenges. What is my cash flow? How much cash on hand I have today? Is there any revenue leak? Can I invest in a business? Can I expand my business? Is my business doing good? What is happening to business? So everyone will have a lot of such questions, right? So generally, these questions can be addressed with the help of tools. Predominantly, SMEs were thinking that tools are only for the large scale enterprises and they were not, and for the small scale businesses, this kind of tool is not, or any kind of tool is not required, and they'll be able to do it using a pen and paper or Excel sheets. Technically speaking, that is not true, right? So we underestimate ourselves. Even we SMEs need a powerful tool to manage our business, to understand where is our business, to see it's very much critical to us than for a large scale enterprises, for us to grow, for us to understand the pain points, for us to invest on where it is working. So for us to understand all this, a tool is very much important, and that is a base. Right? So for example, I'll take you to this case study. See, like this is a case study where this SMB was selling the goods online via Amazon, and he was not aware of how much of inventory has to be produced, how much of goods has to be produced, how much of what are the sales on every day, like what's the profitability, and what kind of when the products are selling, like what kind of products are not selling. None of this information were visible to him when he was just using Amazon and was selling by Amazon. Amazon gives him the decent tools to sell by Amazon. But what is happening with this money, or how he is scaling up, how to increase his top line, bottom line. Top line is nothing but your revenue, bottom line is nothing but your profit margin. So how to increase these things, how to make sure that my stock is always available, readily available, how to make sure that I'm not stuck with cash flow issues. So these are the biggest things an SME will always have, and this is the same thing this also customer also had, right? So a right tool will help you understand all these parameters. So even so SMBs, as we are SMBs, we need to have the tools to understand and invest our money in the right place. See, if say for example, material A is working for us, produce more goods on that material. And if there is some color is working good for us, then you need to reinvest on that. Kind of a decision has to be made. So we need to use tools to take decisions. We need to use tools to understand what we are. And again, after COVID, the tools are become mandatory because of the government regulatories. Like now GST has come in, e-invoicing has come in, and a lot of other regulators are brought in. Like every day, Indian government is strengthening their processes to eradicate the black money, and which itself is pushing the SMEs to get into cloud solutions. So SMEs has to be so in the current with the current view of the new guidelines and government regulators, for us to be at par with the compliances, we need to have the right tools to avoid any legal complications. And even the GST credits, right? So now government has strengthened the processes to avail these credits. So we'll have to be at par with the government regulatories. So for that to happen as well, we need to have the right tools. So after COVID, the customers' behavior, like predominantly end customers' behavior has changed a lot. So before COVID, people, the technology penetration among the villages were very thin. And today, the technology penetration was huge. Anyone can walk into any shop without having the wallet, without having the physical money. They can still transact, do the business, have a tea, have a chai, even in Kirana stores. You can buy using our digital money. So that is the when so we when COVID has helped us adapt these technology tools. So any SMBs who haven't adapted these tools are facing out basically. So we SMEs have to be at par with these trends and start using technology tools. It could be your WhatsApp, it could be your Paytm or GPay or whatsoever to stay alive, right? So technology is not a luxury anymore; it's a mandatory. So any kind of technology is good for the business. It can be a WhatsApp, it could be your GPay, it could be your e-commerce website, or it could be you selling via Amazon, Flipkart, or whatsoever. Right? So we need to use tools to stay alive. That is a lesson COVID has taught us. So I've seen personally, I myself have seen people who were using technologies have scaled to the greatest extent, and people who have not used technology, they're still lagging. And it's not too late to start using technology tools, right? See, even I come from a village where we don't even have a public transportation, and and today at least we get like 15 to 20 packages from Amazon and Flipkart on a daily basis to that village. So that is a penetration technology has taken us to us to. So SMEs who are not who are not into these technologies will miss the bus. Not just that, right? Even governments are taking initiatives now. Khadi industry is digitizing their presence, and they're bringing in e-commerce, and now government is bringing in ONDC to support online transactions, and when India has also introduced digital currency to support all this, right? And what we have seen in the last 3 years is like the growth what we anticipated in 2035 for the digital adaptation was already here. So we are ahead of the time with respect to technology. So every SME has to understand and come up to speed and adapt these tools is what we see as a mandate. Not just that, right? So many of the SMEs, they have lost. See, statistics says that 82% of the businesses fail due to the improper cash flow management. So out of 100 new, out for every 100 businesses, 82 businesses fail because of cash flow issue. So we need to make sure that every one of us is outside this 82% of the, and we need to reduce this 82% to the greatest extent. And on an average, the statistics says that if your revenue is say like 10 crores, 5% of the 10 crores, you will definitely, there will be revenue leakages, is what today's SME data says. Every SMB will lose 5% of the total earnings, which means the revenue, due to the lack of visibility. Like it could be double, you might be paying the vendor twice, or it could be when you might be paying the vendor without receiving the inventory, or you might have received you would have repaid them for the sales invoice, refunded for the sales invoice. You would have received a wrong goods, or you would not have accounted a proper. Likewise, a lot of reasons where how you will lose this revenue. And again, the statistics says that 90% of businesses, they take decisions without the data. They might assume that there is a problem, but the real problem would be elsewhere. I'll quote a smaller example, right? So we work with a pump manufacturing company. when I was interacting with him, I found that so they had to produce 3 components to manufacture one pump, and they adopted a scheme for like based on the work done, not on a time basis. So they were paying salary based on the work done. So to manufacture the component 1, they were paying say 10 rupees. To manufacture the component B, they were paying 15 rupees. So employees felt manufacturing the component A is much easier. So they were only manufacturing component A. None of them manufactured component B. After 6 months, when they wanted to deliver like 2000 pumps, they were not having component B at all. And to manufacture component B, they were not having cash flow. So this is because of the lack of visibility on what is happening. See, if you see in the real sense, they haven't, when there is an inventory, but that when they have the component A for the entire year, whereas the component B is not there even for next 5 days or 6 days. So this kind of cash flow issues will also come in, are coming in for any SMB, right? So a tool will always help them understand and see this upfront and manage what needs to be done or how it has to be managed, when how to restrict or how to be out of this kind of issues is what should be the objective. So when you choose a tool, that you should make sure that you choose a tool which will help you understand where is your money, where is your people, where is your inventory, and how are you using them, where are you using them, how was it generating revenue, and what's the profitability it is giving me. And if you can take any decision using the tool, then that is an ideal tool for you. So I'll take a pause, and if there are any questions, I'll take it up. Otherwise, I'll move on.
I guess you can move on, so there are no questions right now.
Great. Okay. So what SMS has to do, right? So first, SMS can use tools to reach new customers. It could be e-commerce, it could be social media, it could be any channel for that matter. So in today's world, so we need to make sure that we are discoverable. Like your customers should know you are there and you can serve them. So that is very much important. So for that to happen, you need to be in digital tools. It could be platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, or Amazon, Flipkart, or it could be Facebook, or it could be Instagram or WhatsApp. So you need to make sure that we have everyone's presence in the digital tools. So the second priority would be to use the tools to understand the cost and remote working, right? So you don't, and so in today's world, it's not mandated to have a luxury office space. Now with digital tools, your office can also be lean. So we can avoid, see, that means that even your inventory can also be lean. You need not hold your inventory in your own space. Your inventory can also be elsewhere. So we need to find opportunities to reduce the cost with respect to your office space, with respect to your warehouse, with respect to your manpower cost by bringing in tech. Right. The third item would be we need to invest in technologies which will help us increase our efficiency and remote monitoring. See, one of the biggest challenges with SME would be like predominantly the job will be taken care by the promoter. So the promoter needs like 36 hours a day to complete his task. So that is certainly possible if everyone is using technology tools. So we need to invest in the right technology tool. There are a hell lot of technology tools. So we need to choose the right technology tool to increase the efficiency of the business and to enable remote monitoring. Remote monitoring is very key because we need to understand the placement of your inventory, your cash, and people wherever you are. So you need to be able to monitor everyone from a mobile app, which is very much key. And we need to educate ourselves on the financial position of the business, how to overcome these issues, and what kind of support government agencies are offering and how to avail them. So that is very much key. The other thing is like we need to always look for new revenue channels using digital platforms. So these days, there are a lot of digital tools which are helping to generate new revenue opportunities. So we need to keep hunting for such digital channels to increase our reach. So what we do with Effitrac is we help with the cash flow to the SMBs, and we have industry-specific solutions. So we don't give any generic solutions. We give very industry-specific solutions to manage the money, people, and inventory. So if there are any specific questions, I can take it up. Otherwise, we can stop here. Okay, so I have a question: how to look for resources for information on government schemes? So all the schemes are already available in the websites, in the government website. I can share the link of those resources separately after this meeting. So you can use those websites to look for relevant schemes. So now, see, there are two types of government schemes. One is state government scheme, one is central government scheme. And in fact, there are a lot of schemes which are getting introduced by the SEBI as well. So we have composed a good resource for all the schemes. We'll share it across after this session. No, what I mean to say is we have composed a centralized database for all the schemes. We'll be sharing it across. Yes, Raju, we will be sharing you all the schemes. After this call, we will be sharing you the schemes.
If anyone have any other questions, they can write down in the chat box.
Yeah. So what Effitrac does is Effitrac is a SaaS solution, software as a service solution, which offers these packages: books, CRM, CRP, HRMS payroll, and dashboards to the small and medium businesses based on their requirement, and it is industry specific solution where you will be able to manage your people, money, and inventory, and see the cash flow real time. Okay, so I would like to touch upon one more topic. Like when you want to say, like, let us assume that everyone wanted to get into new technology tools. So what kind of tools can I use? Is the common question I always get. See, every business, depending on what revenue segment they are in, the need of the tool will be different. For example, an SME who is doing like less than 25 lakh and not GST, when he's not registered into GST, the tools he might look for will be different. Whereas someone who is having a GST and doing like 2 to 3 crores, the tools required for him will be different. Whereas if someone is doing like 30, 50 crores, the tools requirements will be different. Right. So first you need to understand what is a pain point. The pain point could be track of the receivables and payables. The pain point could be track of real-time inventory, or the pain point could be restricting the activities based on the budget. So first we need to understand what is our pain point and try to find a tool which solves this kind of pain points. So for example, Effitrac is solving the problem of cash flow. Zogo might be solving the problem of compliances. Your Vyapar might be solving the problem of digital invoicing, right? So first you need to identify the problem and then find a technology tool which solves this problem. So see, there is something called Kata book. Kata book just tracks the payables and receivables at a lower level, granular level, basic one, right? So Kirana shops might use that. Kirana shops may not be willing to create invoices, sales invoices. They will not have a printout and all this stuff. So in such cases, they can use Kata books. A new business, they're in the service industry, then they might use Vyapar for billing. Right? So similarly, every tool is built for a specific objective. So if your pain point is matching their objective, then you should choose that particular tool. So you need to make sure of that. And in today's world, many of the tools helps you understand and gives you the credit facility as well. So even in Effitrac, we work with NBFCs to enable credits based on where is your cash flow, how was it, all this stuff. We also give the credit facility via our partners. Likewise, there are a couple of companies who are doing it. So we need to understand first, we need to understand our pain point, and then understand which tool will solve this pain point and go for the pain tool. Say for softwares for manufacturing, generally very few tools offers manufacturing module, and Effitrac is one among them. Effitrac has a full suite for manufacturing and retailing. You see, right? So if you are only looking at if you are looking for a holistic solution, like a full-fledged solution, then I would recommend Effitrac. like where you will be able to manage your point of sale, your invoicing, your accounts, your online sales, your van sales modules, and all this stuff, including your manufacturing process. If you're only looking for a point of sale solution, then the tools would be little different. Generally, Vyapar is used only for the billing requirements, that too for the B2B kind of a B2C, like for the service industries. So you can contact me and I can help you with that, Sanjay. Yeah. So I'll text you in the chat box. So any other questions?
I guess there are no more questions.
Okay.
So,
One second, Preeti. Maybe I'll touch upon one last point. So, like Sanjay, like generally, one of the biggest problem with retailing would be the retail software would be if the SME owner is having multiple retail units, like when stores in multiple regions, and one of the requirement could be the price differences. Like every region might have a different pricing. Like region, when say for example, Bangalore, say if the SME is having one store in Bangalore, one store in Chennai, one store in Trivandrum, and the vegetable pricing could be different in these three different places. One of the biggest challenge in that industry is like price controls. An SME owner would like to control the pricing so that the seller need not worry about, or the salesperson need not worry about the pricing. So when you are getting into a point of sale software for such requirements, you need to be very, you need to understand whether they will be able to solve these kind of problems. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Preeti, over to you.
yeah. Thank you so much, sir. It was a great discussion covering all the aspects of the subject. I'm sure that all the participants would be taking along with them immense amount of knowledge, wisdom, and experience obtained from your discussion. Thank you so much. For any further queries, you all can coordinate on the given numbers on the screen.
Thank you all.